Hello and welcome everyone watching. I am Timo Braun and I'm going to take you through the highlights of the last round of the ACC Championship at Misano. On pole, you guys ahead of Alexander Cast, we have Christian Stricker, Tim Novak, Milos Martika, Beltman, Sam Chumley in P7 and myself in P8. Last season this race was won by Tim Novak and this time he's only in P4, so let's see what is going to happen here. We've got Yugos alongside Carsten in the blue car, but it looks like Yugos has got a really good launch. Novak is already putting himself alongside Christian Stricker with an extraordinary qualifying. Novak goes through, no drama up front, and Yugos sticks it into the lead, so he is ahead of Carsten Novak. Behind him Stricker, and here we've got Milos Martika, and he turns in on Light Cruiser a little bit, and he collects Chumley. There's lots of chaos down the order. Antoine Olivier is involved in that. Up front for P2, Carsten's taken the lead for a second, but then he's taken out, spun round by Tim Novak, who sticks his nose in there. Further down the order, we've got René Bone, and he absolutely misses his braking point, dive bombs Pintado and a few others, goes off track, has to rejoin, and gets together with Costa and Kessel and Pintado. And so the little bit of chaos there. More chaos to come though with Clara here, wiping out Mills and getting into a huge accident, which doesn't go well. So up the order, things have been relatively clean, but if you look further down the field, not so much. And Milos, after his spin, has been stuck behind Blindevink here in the Porsche, and he just can't get through. It's me parked, or basically stuck behind them. The plan was to let Milos lead the way through the field, but he's struggling so much against Blinde. They are fighting side by side here in lap 5. And can he do anything against that? There's another touch. And how none of them die is a complete mystery to me. I don't know. Lap 6, and Jack Mills passes Damien Wilk for P20, so he's making his way up the order again, but then interrupted by being touched by the Nissan driver, spun round, and I think Taurus slips through. Lap 7, and this is Bonon Chikeka. We have got Bans, and he taps in Chikeka, completely loses the plot, and spins his car around. Now deep into these corners go both Blindevink and Milos, and I slip through, so I take the position, but they are not done with each other yet, and they completely bonk into each other. Blindevink sent off track with some damage. Andre Costa on Antoine Olivier. Kessler is also fighting this. So there's a huge gaggle of cars in the midfield. I kind of run away with this now. Milos is also finally clear. Costa comes out on top. Lap 8, and this is Kessler and Carsten. Carsten, after his incident early on, has been dropping down the order. Now he hasn't coming together. We deem this as a racing incident because it was just a tight line, both cars fighting for the same piece of tarmac. Tim Novak on Yugos, and Yugos makes the mistake, and suddenly Novak goes through for the lead. Can he win again in this race? He's won here last season, and now Yugos is in trouble. We're looking at Light Cruiser now. Light Cruiser fighting Andre Costa, and yeah, the issue. Oh, never mind, that's Chumley. The issue. Oh, nice rejoin. The issue was that Bans has not served a proper pit stop. He wasn't aware, so he completely held them up, and Van der Nerding is the victim, and because of that, he is the first one to fall prey to the charging McLaren of Alexander Carsten after his brilliant qualifying, after his unfortunate spin, and after an amazing charge through the field. On lap 30, we're looking at Yugos and Novak again. Novak goes wide. He makes a mistake, and even though he's driving straight through the marbles, that's not gonna give him more grip. The opposite, actually, because Yugos passes through for the lead again after an incredibly long fight. Lap 35, and this is Carsten and Chumley once again, and an absolute send from Chumley gives him the position temporarily, but only temporarily, as Carsten takes revenge for that, and he sends it down the inside of the British driver, and he's gonna come out on top in the fight of McLarens ahead of Chris, but only for now, because Chris here might let his guard down a little bit. He's absolutely under pressure. He slips wide, and now Carsten is there, and Chumley is there, and he's gonna lose 2 places. How unfortunate, but that is the end of the race, as Yugos takes a brilliant win after throwing it away so unfortunately in Laguna Seca. He is going to come out on top ahead of Tim Novak in P2, as you can see here. Then Veld in P3 comes out on top in that midfield fight. Carsten, brilliant recovery. Chumley, kind of okay, maybe he can bounce back this time. Then Chris in P6. For the championship of the drivers, this means we've got a two-way tie at the front of the table, and it is Novak and Hugo Super trading P1 and 2 for the last two races. Then Chumley a little bit on the back foot. Veld sneakily got up into P4. And for the for the constructors, we've got Mission Winner Grazia Garezzi Racing with 99 points out of Barrel Roll Racing on 88, Big Ben 86, and then Trigon.
Hello everyone, welcome to Assetto Corsa Competizione round 6 of season 2 here in Kyalami, South Africa. I am its Triton, and today, normally I would have said the championship fight is well and truly alive here with the 2S drivers, but we're missing one of our championship contenders today. In fact, we're missing quite a bit of the grid, but we should still have something to show here. 19 drivers is still a lot. In other games, 20 is usually however many you get, but I think you can go up to like 30 or something in this game. But regardless, this will still be an exciting one, hopefully, as we see already some a squirrely rear from Milos. So Kyalami is a circuit I'm not fully familiar with. We don't have a track intro again this week, but I am going to be providing a hot lap of sorts for us. So last week I think I did Milos last week. Go with we're gonna keep an eye out here on Mr. Veldman. But yeah, so you'll notice a bit of changes here to the a little bit of changes to the commentary screen. You'll see the overall symbol there to show like everything, or like tell you what you're looking at, and you'll see the track temperature and the wind and how the grip, which is now in the optimum range. So we're going to be seeing faster lap times now than we did earlier in practice, which I don't usually which we don't show because we do that before to let everyone get their warm-ups. So if everything is working good, this is my weekly PSA to tell me if everything is good. No rain, yeah, but we do have some cloudy weather right now. I don't think it's going to be nothing for the rain or race. I mean, no rain for the race. So we're just going to keep an eye out on things. Right now, quality is just going to become Sam Chumley is P1 right now. Ruben van den Hudding P2. Hugo, our co-championship leader, P3, and his teammate Milos P4, and the man we're watching here, Nico Veldman, P5. So let's talk a bit about the circuit, I guess. Another thing, Kyalami. Like I said, I'm not fully familiar with it, but a very interesting circuit because a lot of high-speed cornering and a mix with some slow-speed corners. Like some of these final corners here towards the end are a bit snaily. Like here, you'll see this double kind of slow speed corner this slow speed corner that leads right into the start finish straight, which is or actually no, that's not it. I'm stupid. See, as I said, we have 20 people actually. So Rene finally getting in, thankfully before qualifying. Gonna see. Okay, Ollie Striker goes P5 right now, but there you can see it. Yeah, there's the start finish straight. So, oh dear, Milos spins out there and gets out of the way, thankfully, as Mr. Veldman crosses the line here, and he's gonna go. Stays in P6, but we're gonna stay on board because he's gonna go for another lap here up Kyalami. So this is my track at the 100-meter board. On the brakes, turning in, getting on the power early as it widens out, loses the rear end of it, but then keeps the race line, which goes tight in and then wide out as this double corner appears. Take the first part flat and then hit the brakes there, unspotted almost. Now up to this sort of straight here, and we're going to approach an it's almost flat in F1 cars, but you're gonna have to lift off here in a GT3 car for this swooping right-hander as we come up to the next left-hander here. After the 50-meter board hit the brakes, carry the car in, kind of carousels its way through there. Now we come up to a left-right complex here. As the curve starts, lift off, slight tap on the brakes for Nico. Slow in and then fast out on the exit of the second part here. Run wide there because you can. And now we approach one of the most difficult corners here. Blind there. You kind of can't really spot a braking point there, but it's kind of before that curve begins there, where the red and white is. And now feed it into this, onto the exit here. Just get the power down as early as you can with the ABS or with the traction control. As you come over this, or over the sign there, turn in flat out for these GT3 cars, and then hard on the brakes for this tight right-hander. As we approach the end of the lap here, almost see another little kink here, and then as the curve starts, chuck the car into this fast right-hand corner very hard, or do not hit that inside curve, and then as you spot your braking point, turn in left-hander there on to get a good run onto the start-finish straight to finish off the lap, and that is a 1:42.4. So not an improvement, but a lap off the Kyalami circuit as he's going to pull over here and go to the pits. So an interesting lap, as you can see. A mix of everything here, and a very high speed kind of high speed complexes mixed with slow speed, a little bit of slow speed. So I kind of like it. I like the flow of the circuit. I haven't driven it in these cars yet. I've driven it in AC with and in Automobilista 2 with or in the base AC game, I mean, and Automobilista 2 with Caterhams that we were doing for fun while or kind of an off season when AC and F1 were both over. So right now, Sam Chumley trying to regain his championship composure. Started off very strong, winning, I believe, the first two rounds, the first 2 rounds, and then Tim Novak following suit, winning 2 rounds after that, and then Hugo winning last week in Misano. Unfortunately, Tim Novak did tie with Hugo for the championship lead by finishing second, but he's going to lose that because unless these two don't score, I think, as he is not able to show up today, but he did still find the time to provide us with the very beautiful and very well edited weekly highlights reel, which is always very appreciated. So shout outs to him and Timo for voicing it over. So let's choose somebody else here to go on board with. Whoever. Let's look at we'll look at Mr. Pixel here, or Mr. McCormack, who is making his return, or his debut actually, I think, in AC or ACC. Our tier 1 or one of our tier 1 commentators. I don't know if his schedule is going to be able to let him do that, but it's good to see him back on the track in the very Irish looking Ferrari there. I think that could be just a happy coincidence, him being an Irish driver. So let's see what he can do on his return. Currently, I think that's a 42. I'm too tired to do the time. Okay, 43.3 is his best time at the moment. So Chumley setting the pace still at the moment. Ollie Stryker coming back after a hiatus. I believe he was away as well. He's currently P3. His brother Christian, who made his return and did a fantastic job last week, finished, I think, P5, I think it was, on road. The last minute he was P4, but Mr. Alexander Karsten was not yet to put in a time. Drove a fantastic race and got that at the line, as you saw. Yeah, that second to last corner, the sausage curb, as Mr. Torres is pointing out. Thank you for tuning in. I know it seems you are unable to race, which is a shame, but at least you tuned in, which is always appreciated to show your support. And yeah, that last sausage curb might cause some issues for some of these guys, as he says there. I'm not certain, as Hugo runs a little bit wide here, but we're approaching the end of quali here, so we're gonna see the lap times pumped in. So anyway, I should also say, I forgot to mention, I'm probably sound really tired. That's because I'm running on only a few hours of sleep. I had to wake up at 4:30 a.m. this morning to do some errands and do some driving and stuff for real life things, and it is currently 11:15. So I went back to bed, got like a couple hours extra of sleep, but not enough. I did not go to sleep at a proper time. So since I'm on vacation, and also quarantine, this is kind of what I do. So I don't have soda this week, but I have water as well, so this is gonna help me. So. Anyways, let's see. I'm gonna ride on board with my dear friend and fellow commentator from time to time, and very gifted racer, which I don't say out of bias, of course, because why would I? And also because, I mean, it is very much true. Mr. Tipsy Bob, who is a very, very good racer and very, very good friend of mine. So let's see how he does here on his final run of qualifying. Currently, Hugo puts it P2. Chumley is in the pits, so he's not going out again. So let's see if any of these guys can take the reins from him. So Bandit Hutting P3 right now. Ollie Striker sitting P4 in the other Audi. Timo sitting P5. This might be a good chance for him because a lot of the fields claim to have been struggling. So Timo currently 8/10 off, but we know that's not Timo's full pace, as well as Melos' full pace. So a lot of these guys have a lot in it, as Mr. Forrest McCormack goes P9 there, Basskessel P10. Ooh, that is way off the road for Tipsy, so that's it for him with 30 seconds to go. So all these guys in the pits here, probably not going to be putting in a time. Rene and Alexander Karsten both. Rene's out on a lap. Actually, Karsten in the pit, so he's not going to be able to do the quali. Milos is into the pit, so he's not improving. We'll see. Timo, we'll try and see what Timo can do here in the other, or in the McLaren, the other McLaren, as Chumley is in the other team. Should we watch that corner? Yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye on that for sure. Yeah, first lap. It's gonna be interesting to see that. So, here we go then. Quali is over. The flags are being waved. Chumley still holding pole position. Let's see what Timo can do here as he crosses the line. Is he gonna be able to jump the grid here? And he does not. He does improve, but he does not get any more positions. So that's P5 for him. Hugo does not improve either. Bandit Hutting here is on his final lap here. Last time around was a 41.6. He needs almost half a second more. Let's see if he can improve. He's one of the last people to do it. Timo goes into the pits. All these strikers in the pits. Nico Veldman might have a chance here as he crosses the line there, I think. Or, oh no, he's off the road. So that's yeah, that's his quali over. Bandit Hutting. Let's see what he can do. I've accidentally gone off him. Here he goes, crossing the final corner here. I don't know if he made any mistakes there while I was looking away as he crosses the line. That is P2. So that is our qualifying session there. I'm not going to pause, so we're going to have to see. Oh, okay, Karsten has a quali ban, and so does Chikeka, so that's why they didn't set times. My apologies. So, Timo, come on. I'm going to give a nice message to everyone. We'll leave that nice message there for them. So, currently, Sun seems to have come out for qualifying. Let's see what. Oh, that's the wrong thing there. Okay. So here's our grid. Let's do our little grid walk here before the start. So there we go. Sam Chumley taking pole position, getting back his form from qualifying, or in qualifying. You're welcome. See, Mr. Vanden Hutting. Okay, can I not move this? Oh, there we go. Mr. Vanden Hutting goes P2 on the front row there with him, trying to reclaim his championship fight as well. Hugo P3 in the Ferrari. Ollie Striker in the sister Audi team P4. Timo Brown, our defending champion, is P5, and alongside him is Nico Veldman Milos Martika P7, and Bas Kessel alongside him on the 4th row in P8. And rounding off the top 10, Tipsy Bob, TB, you see the initials got me there. So, Tim Crucivar in P10 in the McLaren, Forrest McCormack on his debut, I think, could be wrong, or his return, P11, and Pedro Costa P12, Davy Bremen in the Porsche in P13 with Jack Mills behind him, and I believe this is Mr. Koning is a reserve, I think, but he is P15, so very good job to him. Rene Bon behind him, P16, Jack Biddell, P17 in the Aston Martin as we get going for the formation lap, ahead of Jos Meersman, and then Chikeka and Karsten serving their quali bands in the back row. Still, 20 cars. This, gotta pause the game here. Yeah, there we go. So, get ourselves set up here as we get our warm-ups going here as we approach the start finish straight here. So, get a better angle here as the lights will go out here any minute now. And they are underway here for Kyalami. ACC, good start from Van Hutting, gets almost a jump on Sam Chumley here. Hugo right behind there as well. Tristan Stryker getting the jump on him. Nico Veldman and Timo Brown and Bas Kessel getting a very good start, going 3 wide there. Christian Stryker tries to have a look down the inside and gets the move on Van den Hutting, but might have to recede it back because he goes a bit wide. And there's contact in the back there somewhere. I didn't see who that was. I think that might have been Forrest McCormack potentially. So Christian Ollie Stryker holding his own there. Hugo falling behind the order there now. Van den Hutting trying to put the pressure back on Chumley as he retains his lead. Nico Veldman into P5 ahead of Timo Brown. Milos trying to feed his way into this battle as well. Bas Kessel, Rene Bon, and Pedro Costa all fighting out here in the back. Tim Crucivar falling behind a little bit there, losing a position there as there's contact, and there's a big pile up there. Tipsy goes around it, Crucivar goes around it, Rene causing, I think, another collision there potentially. I didn't see exactly because I looked at the order there, but Pedro Costa has been spun around, I think, and gets collected there. Luckily, some of these guys were able to get around it. Tipsy gets around it, Jos Meersman gets around it, and Rene now trying to put the pressure back on Crucivar, who gets around it as well. But up front here, these guys have all gotten away from the chaos there as... Oh dear, the stream gets clicked off. Yeah, ripped the championship. Don't worry, Tim, it's not over yet for you. So, we'll see now. Chumley trying to make the gap there. Van den Hutting getting away a bit from Christian Stricker, who tried to make the lunge, but it unfortunately did not work out for him. Tim Crucivar, meanwhile, holding off the second pair of the second pack here, as we seem to have a 2-man divide here, or a 2-car divide, or group, if you want to call it that. Milos getting a better run there on his former teammate from last season, but unable to get anything done here. Let's see up front, Van den Hutting still in the wake of Sam Chumley. Christian Stricker holding off the championship leader right now. So Nico Veldman wanting to show that he is able to fight for the championship as well, as he is very close in the battle himself. So yes, that was Forrest McCormack, I believe, in the beginning. He is down at the back, as well as Bas Kessel, who got caught up in the collision there at the start. Tim Crucivar and Rene Bon fighting out there in P8, or for this P8 there, and Tipsy trying to have a look at Jos Meersman in the Porsche there. I believe that, no, these are not teammates there, so these are different Porsche teams, as Tipsy goes a bit wide there. As for those who do not know, 4 off tracks where you gain an advantage, and that is a drive-through penalty to be added to your race. So you can afford to get a couple, but you don't want to get 3 or 4, because then that pressure is going to be on you, and yeah, that's not what you want to have on your race, especially because that could pretty much end it, because considering how hard it is to catch up unless you have a significant amount of pace, because of how close this grid actually is. It may not seem that way for qualifying, but in race pace these guys are very formidable, as Nico Veldman has a look at the inside of Hugo. Timo still holding on there. These guys all just getting away from the pack here. Crucivar not really, slowly but surely catching up, but as Tipsy, meanwhile, goes wheel to wheel with Jos Meersman and gets the move done in the back, so very good job to him. Meanwhile, Jack Mills kind of holding off Alexander Karsten, who's made up 7 places off the start, so we know how fast he is from last week, considering he was fighting in lap 1 fighting for the lead before he unfortunately got spun around, but was able to recover all the way from the back, all up to P4 on the line. So here he goes then. Is he going to have a look down the inside of Jack Mills? No, he is not, as Tipsy is starting to stretch his elbows out a little bit here, but he's still not out of the woods yet. Still has to catch up to Rene Bond, who is on the back of Tim Crucivar. Meanwhile, up front, Van den Hutting starting to put the pressure on the race leader of Sam Chumley. Milos falling off the back of Timo Brown, so he's made a bit of a mistake somewhere. Hugo not making up the ground on Van den Hutting here as he goes a bit wide there, Christian. Or I mean, Ollie, sorry. I'm gonna make that mistake. I'm sorry, Ollie, but let's see if Van den Hutting is able to make moves on the race leader here. So at the moment, yeah, this is a very good start from some of these guys, but unfortunate for some others, as Pedro Costa is into the pits. I think I don't know if his race is over. He is pitting here, I think, for damage. So while his teammate leads, oh, he's coming in. Yeah, he's coming back out. So he's made a pit stop already. So this might work out if he can go to the end, but his tires are going to be very cooked at the towards the last part of this race. So Hugo, meanwhile, falling off the back of this grid, not showing the pace he showed last week, but it's all about the long game, of course. This is not over yet. We are only 6 minutes in, and we have 54 to go. So Van den Hutting here has got a very good slipstream on Chumley here, but unable to make anything of it as he tries to have a look, but is going to stay behind. So Chumley just holding his own, biding his time. So is Ollie Stricker with Veldman and Timo Brown. So let's see if Nico can get his race ignited here in the time, for the time being. His race pace in the past few races has been very good, as yes. So Mills has dropped back, as so has Mills. So they both have damage. So I think I don't know what's happening here. It doesn't look like he has damage. I think this is a this might be a strategy. I don't know. I see that Jack does indeed have damage, but somebody will have to tell me what's happening there up front here. I think Milos might be struggling with something. I don't know what's going on there, but up front, the battle here at a bit of a standstill, but it's not exactly done at all, of course. But right now, Veldman all over the back of Ollie Stricker. Let's see what he can do in the Aston Martin. So as mentioned, there might be a few periods where I go quiet out of fatigue, so to speak, with my lack of sleep, but I will try my best here to follow the action here. But in the back, these three these four I should say, falling off the back of the front two. So Hugo making a gap now. Ollie is falling a bit behind. It seems Nico is still keeping with him. He might have a little bit more pace. Timo might as well. Let's see how this goes, or if Ollie can send the gap here. So meanwhile, Crucivar pulling away now. Rene and Tipsy, the teammates in F1 for pretty much I'm pretty sure the whole time 2S has been around, is fighting it out here in ACC. So this is going to be the fight we wanted to, not the fight we wanted to see, but I mean definitely the fight we wanted to see, but not the fight we want to have per se. So of course, these two being very good friends and having very good chemistry, that only second to the one that Tipsy and I have, but you know, I mean, anyways, I don't know. I don't want to anger any French-born people in the chat, or who may come back and watch this video. Anyways, as Tipsy having a look at Rene here as he gets a very good run here, but is this going to be enough? As Karsten has made his way all the way back from the back to P10 and is homing in on these two. So see up front here, Van den Hutting looking very racy at the moment. Let's see if he can get the speed carried in and is able to fight Sam Chumley here. So these two have had several battles already this season, being the championship contenders at the season start. So let's see now as he has a look down the inside here as they try to go wheel to wheel for the race lead. Van der Hutting has the inside line. Chumley doesn't defend it, and he goes on the brakes late down the inside and tries to get the car under control. Contact there, but Van der Hutting gets the move done for the race lead. Up from in the back here. Let's see. Okay, am I lagging? Oh dear Lord. Is the stream good? Wait, it's not the stream, so I think it's just, yeah, it's the server. So let's see. My apologies. I thought we were over this. Okay, so we just gotta get back in. There we go. My apologies for that, my apologies. Yeah, we're good, we're good. The stream didn't die, it's just the server disconnected me. So, just gotta let it load. My apologies, hopefully I didn't miss anything major here. Okay, we're good. As soon as it loads back in, okay. There we go, so let's get our camera back. There we go. Okay, we're okay. Sorry about that, sorry about that. So, Chumley's still holding on, nothing happening here. Let's see what happened with, see what's happening here with, Rene and Tipsy. Tipsy's still holding behind Karsten, so, yeah, my apologies for that, guys, my apologies. Should be good now, should be good, for the time being. If it happens again, I'll make sure we try and fix this up, so. Take a look at the Discord here. Discord is working fine, which is usually my, detection. So, meanwhile up front, Rene is still holding off his, the challenge from Tipsy. Karsten, though, might cause a bit of a headache for both of these guys as he is very quick. So, Timo, meanwhile, looking quick in the McLaren behind, holding on to the back of Mr. Veldman here, who is Tipsy's teammate. But Ollie Striker seems to be pulling, or Ollie Striker is trying to put a gap now between these two, so. But the lead is still not out of view for any of these in the top 6. So, currently in the 142s is Van den Hutting, 43.1 last time around, so these, Hugo's starting to lap a little bit faster now, so let's see if he can catch up. But Chumley is still doing his best in the back here. So, let's see what's happening. Let's go into the back here. We see Davy Bremen getting past Jos Meersman there. We have the flags waving already for Mills, who's a lap down in this battle here. Our reserve driver, Mr. Koning, or Tom Koning, holding off the fight from Bas Kessel and Jack Biddell. Of course, McCormack and Chikeka in the back there as well. So Milos right now caught up to Pedro Costa, who has already made a pit stop as well. So I think this might be a strategy call, but look at this, he is all over the back of him. This is only for P18, so no points, but he does get a very good run here. Has the inside, or has the outside actually, coming up here. Is he gonna feed it around the outside, or is this gonna end in tears? He tries to get the car put in there, but Costa holds his own. So good job driving from them. See, I can't speak. But meanwhile, these gaps are starting to stabilize a bit here, and in fact, move off. So, keep an eye out here for the time being. Currently, as we are watching here, I don't think, I mean, it's difficult to pass always in these cars, but it's kind of showing, I think, in a lot of the rounds. But I mean, here it seems like you have a better bet than others places to do it. So, as Milos does get the move on Costa, as my point proven. So, like other rounds, like I should take the opportunity to pull up the calendar here. So let's get the calendar here. I'll hope hopefully nothing happens. Here we are on round 6, as I said, in Kyalami. Next week is going to be the round where we're not going to see much happening, I believe, in Zandvoort. Very hard track, as somebody has left. I believe that is, I don't know who that is, actually. Is that Mills? No, that's not Mills. He's still here, so I didn't see who left, unfortunately. But we have Zandvoort next, which is going to be a little bit more difficult for the drivers to pass. Then we have Spa-Francorchamps, and then we're ending it with the final 2 DLCs. This is the second of 4 DLC tracks. First was Laguna Seca. So, oh wait, that's wait, what happened here? Veldman says he's playing here on my thing. No, actually he's fine. Sorry, my apologies. Tipsy dropping down the order there, so Karsten does get the move on him for P9, as he now homes in on Rene Bon, who's in P8 now. So we'll see how this undercut of sorts works for Milos. He's a bit far down the grid. He's in the 44s at the moment, when the guys up front are in the 43s and 42s even from these top 3, so it's not exactly the pace he needs if he wants to get this strategy to work. So meanwhile, actually, yeah, I missed this as well. Look, Ollie Tricker's made a mistake, and he's fallen behind both of these guys. So Veldman up in the 4th and Timo up in the 5th. My apologies. Okay. So, yeah, okay. And here's Tim Crucivar on Rene Bon, and Rene Bon fighting it out. Rene trying to get a move done on Crucivar, who's defending very aggressively. Here is the McLaren, but Rene trying to have a look round to the outside here, but doesn't seem like he has the straight line speed enough. But he does go late on the brakes. Turns in, tries to, oh, they make contact there. I don't think that was enough space, so Crucivar spun around. So that is very unfortunate for the two coming together. Karsten now moving up into P8, Rene P7 now, Tipsy up into P9. So already I think Rene had a bit of an incident in the beginning, so the stewards are probably going to have a look at both of these, unfortunately. So we'll see how this battle pans out now, because up front it is stabilizing, so 1.2 Van der Hutting leads by, so doing very good at the moment. Karsten as well is very fast in that not Aston Martin, I mean the McLaren. Aston Martin's behind him, so you can see already he's all over the back of Rene, showing extremely dominant pace these past races, of course. So yeah, unfortunate for Tim Crucivar there, losing out there, but he's still in P10. Bremen though on the back of him. But let's see if Karsten can get a good run here on Rene. Gets a bit wide, does the Porsche. But there's that last corner. There's that corner you were talking about, I think, Mr. Torres. So let's see if Tipsy can get into this action as well. See the run Karsten can get onto the start-finish straight here. If it's good enough as we ride on board here inside the cockpit of the McLaren. Not enough at the moment, but it is very, or it is looking very good for him at the moment, driving very fast and showing very good pace. So moving back up here, Ollie Stricker trying to put pressure back on Timo after losing out that P4. So let's see what he can do to recover his position. He looks very fast in qualifying on his return. He is looking very good. He and his brother both. So Kimi or Christian unfortunately not here. So let's see if Hugo is able to close in on the leaders here. It's only a few, like 3 seconds covering the 3 of them. So this fight for the lead is not over at all. Kennedy Chikeka is coming into the pits now. You'll see the green bar alongside the names. That means that they have made their pit stop. there's a mandatory pit stop required in these races, as we are almost 20 minutes through already. So, well, it's going fairly quickly, actually, I must say. So, meanwhile, while my phone buzzes, I try to look at these. Try to look at the chat. Not really seeing much on track at the minute, as Karsten in the back does get the move on Rene there, which I just about missed, but Rene might have another run at him. So let's see if Rene can get the move done here. He tries to go to the inside. Karsten leaves the door open, but doesn't get the move done there, because Karsten has that covered off, has enough speed there, and keeps the position, so moves up into P7. So let's see if he can catch down or catch up the back of this queue here for the top 6. And let's see if Tipsy, who looks very racy indeed, can get past Rene as well. He's very close to him right now. So let's see. I think we'll use this on board camera. But right now he's not really able to get any move there, as Rene does make a bit of a mistake, so that may give Tipsy the move he needs here as he tries to pull to the outside. Rene cleverly putting his car back to the inside line as they come to the blind left-hander here. Rene has a bit of damage on his front wing, or his front end plate, I can see, and Tipsy tries to get the switch back. Is he going to be able to get alongside him? And he tries to slot in now behind, but is unable to get anything done at the moment, so we'll keep a close eye out on this. Let's see if these guys in front, Ollie Striker's still on the back of Timo, but unable to do anything yet. But Rene holding his own there against Tipsy under the pressure, so for the meantime he is safe. But Mr. Karsten is still having a go or is still pulling a gap, I mean, and is 10 seconds behind there. As you can see the gap pretty much visualized there. They're already making their way through turn 3, so I think that's turn 3, but unable to do anything as Bremen is trying to pressurize Tim Crucivar for P10 and tries to have a look, but Crucivar defends to the inside, so nothing happening there. Tries to get the switch back. Is he going to be able to have a look around there? But he doesn't. He's not able to do anything there. Meanwhile, Belgian is starting to fall a little bit back off the grid, or back down the order here in P4, but he's holding off the challenge of Timo Mandoli for the time being. We know how consistent he is in the race pace, so this is a good position for him. He's one of the most consistent drivers on the grid at the moment. Some drivers having issues out of their control, like Hugo, disconnected in Silverstone for round 3. Tim Novak having some issues in the first 2 rounds, I believe, having or getting spun out in the beginning there, as we have a yellow flag somewhere, as Tipsy has made a mistake and gone off the road, but I don't think he's going to lose any positions from it. I don't know if there was contact between him and Rene, so maybe another incident there that the stewards might want to have a look at. I didn't see. There is a little bit of damage there on the side, but I don't know what happened there exactly. So let's take a look at what is happening here. Carson trying to be driver of the day again. Yeah, it seems so. But now Tipsy, we know he has pace, so it doesn't seem like the damage is bad, or that bad. So Rene comes into the pits now, as is Van den Hutting from the race lead. So this is going to release Chumley into some clear air, and Hugo is, but not really, because he's not going to have much time to breathe, because Hugo is all over the back of him right now. For I think this is net P2. So see what Hugo can do. He's turning up the wick as well in that Ferrari. As a see, I'm going to keep an eye out as well on where Millis and Costa come out. So right now, I don't think Hugo's going to have a good opportunity yet to take the lead. Veldman, though, still holding on, getting a little bit of a gap now. Timo 1.3. Chikeka moving out of the way. They're getting lapped, unfortunately for him. So, we've lost another driver, I think. So, I think that's... Is it Rene? I think Rene has retired from the session, so... Or he's disconnected, so that's unfortunate for him. But meanwhile, Tipsy's luckily still holding on there. But Crucifer has gone, I think, no, Crucifer's made a mistake again. He's fallen back. Bass, Kessel, Bremen, and Mills, who's getting lapped, are actually near him now. So, actually racing here a bit. I think Mills might have to let him go, or might have to let them go. Yeah, he's ignoring the blue flag here. Yeah, this is, yeah, he's a lap down. He needs to move. And there's the blue flags being waved, but he's not doing it. So, as Tipsy now comes into the pits, Chumley's into the pits, Timo's into the pits, Karsten's into the pits, Bass Kessel's into the pits, Davey Bremen is into the pits, McCormack is into the pits, and let's see where Vanden Hutting comes out. So, provisional race leader from what we know, but let's see if he keeps it, as I think that is Chumley exiting the pit lane now. So let's see what happens here. Is that him coming out of the pit? Yeah, he has jumped him, I think, here, potentially. Yeah, just a bit. Yeah, there it is. So the overcut working out there for Chumley, but and by quite a bit. So he reclaims the race lead, but that means Hugo is going to be in a very interesting position here, because let's see where he comes in. He should probably come in now then, because this is probably good news for him if he sees that. I don't think he has a way of knowing that he's 1.2 ahead of Vanden Hutting, but Chumley just coming out right in front of him. So let's see. As he does choose to enter the pits, so let's see if Veldman enters as well. He is. Let's see if Ollie is going to come in. He is going to stay out another lap. So he and Crucifer are going to be, and Mr. Jos Meersman are going to be the last three to not pit, as Chikeka has a drive-through penalty, I think, for track limits or something related, which is unfortunate. So let's see these guys. Yeah, Crucifer does hold on there, so yeah, he does get past, I mean, with the blue flags. Let's see where these guys come out. So still a gap. They got a gap, so they're not going to run into any traffic of sorts. Pit lane issue for Redding, unfortunately. So let's see now where Hugo comes out as he exits the pit lane. Now these guys are coming roaring down the pit straight. Yeah, that is going to be them well ahead. So Hugo unable to do anything with this. So Chumley having a very good pit run there, actually. Vanden Hutting having errors in the pits as well, I think, or something, but he's already back on him. So, and Hugo's going to be back on them as well. 2-lap pressure tires on the race leader, which may make the difference. Veldman actually losing out to Timo here, so Timo gets the jump on him in the pit lane. So good job to Timo getting the strategy right there. Hugo still in P3, so these two still have yet to pit. We'll see where Ollie comes out, but this will be interesting. Oh dear, okay, that's Mills off the road there, but he's making way for the race leaders, so not harming them. Hugo's behind him now, I think, but he's going to move out of the way, hopefully, there for him. But at the moment, Chumley holding on to this race lead and still doing his best, as we're almost halfway. The graphics are low because the frame rate is a bit odd with my computer. So, and also I think there's a stream setting as well because of the quality of the yeah, this is 720p, so let me check it. Sorry about the quality, yeah. Or I'm downsizing it to 720p from 1080p. So The stream, yeah, is gonna look a bit choppy, but it's what I have to do to get the stream working. Since I don't have the ooh, that is coning off the road and possibly out of the race here. No, he's gonna keep the car running. So Karsten getting past him, Veldman as well. So up in the P6 for Nico, and provisional P5, I think potentially if Ollie does not come out ahead. So Karsten P7 at the moment from last place. Oh dear, okay, that's a little bit of dirt there for Mills as well. There's a lap down. Timo pulling a gap to Veldman now, so holding his own there in P5. So right now the battle for the lead though, or the provisional lead, is starting to heat up here. Van den Hutting trying to reclaim it again after losing it in the pits. As a 30-second stop and go penalty for Jos Meersman for I have no idea what he's done. And I think he's done now, yeah. So I don't know what happened there to him. Milos meanwhile up in P10 with that unorthodox strategy, but has Tipsy all over the back of him. As yeah, we did lose another driver there. That is Mr. Meersman out of the race, unfortunate. So Tipsy.
We're halfway through. Keep pushing.
We're halfway through the race now. So see what's happening back up front. Ollie still has yet to pit, so let's see. Speeding in the pits, unfortunate. So I'm gonna try and keep an eye out here on the back if anything else is happening here. I think the main battle here we're going to see is for the lead here. Hugo falling well off the order, and then there's a big gap to him there. But Milos and Tipsy fighting it out here. Tipsy having a look down the inside. Is he going to send it on the brakes there on fresher tires? He should have more grip than Milos, who's on very old tires, as overshoots it a little bit. Milos goes a bit wide. Tipsy might get a better exit here, but does not, and has to hold his own. But then tries to maximize the exit there on the second part of it, and is just going to have to feed in though still. So obviously Tipsy has got some pace on him here. So it's only a matter of time before he gets ahead and is able to use it. But currently sitting P11. So he's going to want to try and make up some ground again, because he was with Karsten earlier. So he's lost a fair bit of time after that mistake. And potentially another one, I think, here, since he's this far behind the order. But let's see if he can get the move done eventually. Up front though, we have Ollie into the pits and Van den Hutting and Chumley fighting it out here. Chumley defends to the inside. Van den Hutting tries to get the switch back here, trying to do what Tipsy was trying to do here. He tries to have a look and is all over the back of Sam Chumley here. Can he get the move though, coming up into the next sequence of corners here? He cannot, but now he has a little bit of a straight here before the very long right-hander. We got yellows as well somewhere or something. Let's see what's happening. I don't know, but Milos and Tipsy still fighting it out there. Krusvar is into the pits. I think he's out of the race as Mills moves out of the way for the traffic there. So meanwhile, these two still embroiled in this fierce battle, very close to each other now. Hugo's starting to catch up as well because of it, but Van den Hutting not relenting in his pursuit of the race lead here, as he goes a bit wide there nearly to avoid contact, but he is absolutely piling on the pressure. So we'll just have to see how this goes down for them. They've already had one battle for the lead, and the second one happened in the pits. Who is that Bob guy? Seems pretty good, honestly. But let's see if Van den Hutting is able to get the run he needs now as he approaches the final sector here. Let's see if the sausage curve gets him. No. So gonna have to maximize his exit here. He's right on the back of him. This should be a very good run here. So as we come across the start-finish straight here for the 19th lap. He's done, or Chumley and or the race leaders have done 19 laps now. Let's see if Van den Hutting can get a run here. He's not close enough at the moment, but he pulls to the inside, tries to give a scare to Chumley. Doesn't work. We know that's not going to work in these conditions. These drivers are conditioned to expect it. Let's see if Chumley can hold it on though, and if Van den Hutting can get the run he needs. But at the moment, nothing happening. So very good battle for the lead so far, and very strong pace from these two, as now Van den Hutting tries to have a look there as well. But again, Chumley is not relenting. But look at the speed that Van den Hutting has on the lap pressure tires, just piling on the pressure here. So Hugo making a bit of a mistake in the back there, I think, but closed into 3 seconds from these leaders. Veldman as well, starting to pick up the pace and get back onto the rear of Timo, who's in a brilliant P4 right now. Ollie Striker coming up well behind in P6, though Karsten 6 seconds behind, so he's not out of it yet, as we're almost 2/6 of the way, so almost a third of the, or 2/3 of the way in to the race. So let's see if this is the run he needs. Van den Hutting getting a decent exit out of the final corner there, but the blue flags are coming in here. Koenig giving a tiny slipstream there to Chumley, but I mean that's not going to do much, of course. But let's see if he's able to have a lunge here. Van den Hutting, he's going to think wisely up it. As we can see behind him, Hugo is still catching up to him, but unable to make any moves is Van den Hutting. Karsten, meanwhile, starting to home in on Ollie Stricker very rapidly, so showing very good pace at the moment. So meanwhile, Tipsy has managed to get ahead of Milos. Now next in his sights is the Porsche of Davy Bremen, who might be under pressure here because Tipsy has shown some very good pace. And then after that is Mr. Van den Hutting's teammate Bas Kessel. So let's go back up here. Hugo has made a mistake though. That is very big. So he's spun off there. Let's see. Now that puts Timo and Nico Veldman back into this battle for the podium. So that is a catastrophic mistake again from Hugo, like he made in Laguna. Unfortunate for him, but he does not lose a position from it. But let's see if it does prove to be costly. But that is him out of race winning contention unless these guys fight it out badly enough. So let's see now if Van den Hutting is able to put the pressure on again. He's been doing that from the time being, but let's see if he's able to fully mount an attack now and get the move done here as he approaches the. Let's see what's happening here. We got yellows again. Have to check on that afterwards. Let's see if Van den Hutting is close enough here. Still not enough to get a move down the inside. So Van den Hutting is showing very fast pace in the Audi as at the moment. Chumley showing brilliant defense in the McLaren at the moment as well, though. So let's see what these two can do now if they can get into that battle for the podium position. As Hugo makes another mistake, they're going wide, so he is having all sorts of struggles here in the Ferrari. So Timo now might try and take advantage of that, as will Mr. Veldman as well, potentially, as he is on the back now of Timo, trying to make his way up and try and claim another podium position as he did last week. So meanwhile, Chumley's pulling a tiny gap now. Van den Hutting slowly but surely potentially losing some pace here, so let's see if he can hold his own or if Chumley will crack under the pressure, which it doesn't seem like that is likely considering how good he has been so far this race. Van den Hutting, meanwhile, not quitting his pursuit of the win, of course, and both of them doing very good jobs of their respective tasks at hand. So meanwhile, Veldman having a good run on Timo, or let's see if Nico can get the move though, but Hugo might try and extend his elbows a bit again and try and reclaim the gap he had, but Veldman showing a lot of pace here. In P5, Timo might be under pressure here. The defending champion having a bit of a struggle this season, but I don't think it's much a struggle as it is these guys improving, because we all know Timo is a very good driver, especially in this game. He won the championship for a reason last season. We know Hugo is very good because we've seen him drive, I mean, of course, and he's just only gotten better and better at both this and F1. Van den Hutting seems to have had an immense improvement, as has Chumley, both kind of like the fast guys, but not able to win races. I mean, Van den Hutting won the season opener for season 1 in Monza, I believe, but was unable to do much with that afterwards. Kind of fell down the order a bit, but now is showing that he has gained the pace even further, or improved his pace even further, and is up there. Timo has not exactly lost the pace, and he has improved, in my opinion. It's just that these guys have improved as well with him. So, especially this guy here, Mr. Veldman, I said, started off the season last season, or season 1, barely starting out the game, and was a bit, he wasn't slow by any means. He was fairly decent in the midfield, and now he's up there with the big guys fighting the defending champion. So I think that says a lot about his improvement as well. Meanwhile, Chumley holding his own against Van den Hutting here at the moment, so not much happening there. But now this might be a run again, not really yet, as Veldman still trying to put all sorts of relentless pressure on Timo Brown, but nothing happening yet. Still having a look down the inside, but I don't think that's going to help him. He needs to maximize his run, I think, out of the corners rather than scare him, because it doesn't seem like Timo's going to fall for it. So let's see now. We can see the throttle application there. He's early on the throttle, late on the brakes as well. Let's see. Get a good run here. A little bit too much curb there, I think, so that's not going to be it. At the moment, the gap in front is starting to get a little bit bigger. Van den Hutting not as close as he was before, but still within a shout of this race win. This is anyone's game at the moment, and as we saw from Hugo, anyone can make a mistake here, and one mistake is the difference between a win and losing out on the podium altogether, even with this gap. So meanwhile, Ollie Stricker is kind of having his own race in 6th place, which is good on a return. Karsten still slowly catching up to him. He's got 18 minutes to do it, so we will have to see if he's able to make it work. Meanwhile, still nothing happening with these guys. Veldman holding his own, but so is Timo, not relenting under the pressure. In front there though, I don't think Van den Hutting is close enough yet still. But at the moment, he's still trying to put the pressure on to Chumley, but still nothing in it yet. Let's see now what Veldman and Timo can do here. But I think this is also too far back as well for Mr. Veldman, but he's still holding his own still. As Crusoe disconnects there, so he is now out of this race. So everyone bar Mills will be scoring points, I think, here. As we do top 15 for ACC, like MotoGP. But up front, that gap is very small. Let's see what's happening here. This is Van den Hutting trying to go again for the pressure, and let's see if it works this time around, or if he can actually get the move done. Chumley having a poor run somewhere, I think, and Van den Hutting now trying to make it work as he tries to have a look down the inside of the blind left-hander. Doesn't get the move done there, though. I don't think that is a particularly good place to overtake on the looks of it, because it's very difficult. It's very difficult to spot the turn in and corner as it is. So see what these two are doing now. Still as well, very close to each other. Timo and Nico trying their best But Hugo now running up to some backmarker traffic, so that might hamper them. But this is getting intense here for the battle for P1 now. Let's see if this is the run that Van Hutting needed. I think this might be a good one, so he has a chance here, but the McLaren in a straight line doesn't seem to be too bad compared to the Audi. But let's see now. There is some good, there is a decent, a slipstream there. Is he gonna have a lunge down the inside here? He's gonna try and think of it, but Chumley turning in and claiming his corner as he has the right to do so. So not there yet for Van Hutting, but it is possible. The opportunity is almost there, because you don't want to really throw it all away with a careless dive bomb and get impatient, so, and then lose out on P2 for that matter, when you could have, you can't really have the mentality of P1 or nothing in these kinds of races, so. Still in the back, Timo still not relenting to Veldman. So Mr. Brown showing some good defensive driving at the moment, but he's running up on a back marker here, so let's see if this plays any factor into this final battle. I don't think it will, hopefully. So, but right now, wheel to wheel for the lead goes Van Hutting and Chumley there. Chumley has the inside line. Is Van Hutting going to be able to squeeze around the outside? Gets a very good entry into the corner there, or gets a better exit than Chumley over there somewhere earlier. But now, trying to feed around the outside, he might have to concede there, but he has put enough pressure on Chumley to let his vendetta be known. So let's see now if he's able to maximize his corner exit here and get it here. It seems like he's about the same length as he was on the straight before, but just doesn't have it in him to get. He doesn't have enough straight line speed to get it here, so he's got to rely on the exit here. Can he get the move down the inside? No, he's not. But now gets a very good traction out of turn 2. He is still not able to do it there. So let's. Oh, it's starting to lag. My apologies. Okay, so we should be back. My apologies for that. Let's re-get the server list if it works. I think I have to go back out and reconnect to this. How will it not? Yeah. Okay, this is, yeah, my apologies for this, guys. I think we have a bit of an issue, so I'm going to have to probably restart the game, I think. Or does it reconnect me? I feel like it should. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. So my apologies while I put up the interview page here. So. Okay, so while the game loads, my apologies again for this. Probably gonna have to catch like the last bit of the race, but hopefully I didn't miss anything major. So put this back. The screen's gonna be black while the game loads. So. Or actually, I'll just keep the highlight screen up for the time being, so we have something to look at. Ay, ay, ay. So, in the meantime, I apologize again for this. We should be good though in a bit here. Yeah, we're back online almost here. So let's make sure we're good here. There we go. As soon as it loads, we should be good. But this might take a bit. Okay, there. So, yeah, we're gonna have to see the loading screen here for a bit. I don't know why it's just really slow, this game with loading for me, unfortunately. So, okay, we should be good now. Okay, there we go. Should be back online now. Okay.
Green light. Go, go, go.
Okay. So, there we go. We get the broadcasting there. And now, there we go. We get the map. So, Bandit Hunting did reclaim the lead, and I missed it, of course. So, we'll have to see that in the highlights. My apologies again. Veldman and Timo have made a mistake somewhere, and Oli has gotten past both of them, and Karsten is now on the back of them. So, we're going to try and get this commentated properly now. My apologies. That is very annoying. I am very sorry, but we have 8 minutes to go, so a lot can happen in 8 minutes. Alright. So I don't know what happened between these guys. So I'm gonna have to figure that out after the race. But Veldman does get past Timo. Finally, after putting the pressure on. Chumley falling behind Bandit Hunting. Hugo still far behind the race leaders. And Ollie far behind him, so Hugo, after having that spin, is kind of running again in no man's land. But this isn't over yet, because we have 8 minutes to go and Chumley is still on the back of him, so. But in the back of Karsten, Tipsy is starting to slowly pick up the pace and catch up to that's Bas Kessel in the other Audi. So his teammate leads. He is still he's running in no man's land as well. 23 seconds besides or ahead to Karsten, who's all over the back of these guys now. So from last place all the way up to P7 and potentially P6 or P5. So let's see what he can do with this. So textures aren't loading those textures aren't loading at the minute. That's interesting. So let's see what Timo is able to do with his pace here, if he can get that position back, or if Veldman can try and get back past Holy Striker for P4. So yeah, some of the car textures aren't loading. I believe Hugo's one did. But that's okay. At least we have something to look at. Better than nothing. 6 minutes to go, so it's about 5 laps or so, I'm thinking. 5 or 4 laps to go. I'm gonna pause and see if that fixes it. Sometimes that does it. No, that didn't do it. So while those textures remain unloaded, it'll just be a tiny distraction to us. So currently, Chumley kind of in the same predicament that Bandit Hunting was in, just trying to find a spot to put the pressure on, whereas Karsten is putting the pressure on Timo. So trying his best to make his way up the field, and has done so brilliantly, and is going to try and make it even further into P6. So gap up front is starting to increase just a bit. So Chumley not really able to hold on at the moment, it seems. And Karsten is still not able to find his way past. We got blue flag soon for Koning, who is in P14. So he's going to have to move out of the way eventually for these guys. So as I said, not much happening. Still kind of just people are biding their time. There's only a few minutes left in this race, so we'll have to see if and when or when these guys want to choose their opportunity to strike. So the leaders are crossing their 4 minutes, so it's going to be about 3 laps to go. So Karsten, meanwhile, still behind, not able to get a run he needs. Koning not moving yet for these front 4. Veldman is now putting pressure on to Ollie Stryker. So this is where the fight is going to be at the moment, because Chumley is falling way off the back of Vanden Hutting, who is now starting to stretch his legs and get out of here for the last part of this race. So very brilliant battle between those two. Unfortunately, I missed the last part of it, but there they go now. So Koning moves out of the way for all of them, so the battle can resume uninterrupted, so to speak. But now Veldman gets a very good run off the right-hand corner there. Now for the blind left-hander. Is he going to want to have a lunge down the inside? He defends that, Ollie. So he's able to keep his composure there. Veldman doesn't think worse of going for that, or think of going for the move there entirely. Smart, probably. As I said, that corner is blind. You do not see that apex, so you're going to have to struggle to get the move done there. So let's see if any of these guys want to make a charge at each other, but Hugo crosses the line, I think, there now for the penultimate lap. Should be. The next time around will be the last lap, so we have 2 laps to go of this race. And the gaps are stabilizing up the front 3, but these guys here for 4th place. As what has happened in the back to Timo and Karsten, they may have made a bit of contact there, and Timo is falling a lot under pressure from Karsten now, so there's all sorts of chaos going on back there, as they are now way off the back. Yeah, they both made contact somewhere, or I think Karsten might have hit Timo and let him back through, but I don't think that's going to matter to these stewards, or if that did happen, of course. I am uncertain what's happening there, but they have both fallen behind, and now Veldman is piling pressure onto Ollie Stryker now, all the more because or he's going to want to, because he's got no pressure from behind at the time, for the time being, 6 seconds, and he's only got 1 more lap to do it after this, so, or it should be, yeah, 1 lap definitely. So let's see if Vanden Hutting can just keep it together for this lap, so, which should not be hard. So let's see if Ollie Stryker on his return back to ACC can
Leader is on the final lap.
leader is on the last lap. So this is the end, or this is going to be the end game here for Veldman if he can get this move. So let's see if he can make his, or if he can make the move stick, or if he can stretch his muscles for this. So into the final corner he goes. Let's see if this is a good enough run. I don't think it is, because the Audi seems to have better straight line speed for the time being, so that might be P4 out the window for Veldman unless somebody here makes a mistake. But it is looking very good indeed for the man in the lead here, Vandenhudding, who has driven fantastically. And also this guy here, Chumley, has driven very well, but Vandenhudding just was the one who was able to snip out the victory as he's approaching the second part of the lap here, almost the end. So he will be crossing the line soon. And Veldman's still piling the pressure on, so he's not done with this yet. But let's see if he can get the move done here. So I doubt it very much at this point, unfortunately. But up front here, approaching the end of the race here now, this guy, as I said, made almost no mistakes at all, and taking, I believe, his second race win of the season. So we have, I don't know how many race winners we have at the moment, I'll calculate that after, but here comes Ruben Vandenhudding to cross the line and win the South African Grand Prix in ACC. Sam Chumley finishes P2. Chikeka's going to cross the line, and Bremen cross the line two laps down. Hugo crosses the line for P3 and to claim the championship lead, I believe. And Ollie Stricker, sorry, Ollie, is going to hold on his own as we see smoke bombs go off there and hold his own for P4. And Nico Veldman finishes a strong P5. Timo is going to hold off the challenge from Alexander Karsten on the line here for P6. And Karsten will take P7. Bas Kessel going to take P8 from the looks of it, and Mr. Tipsy will take P9. So a brilliant drive from Mr. Ruben Vandenhudding to claim victory there. So that makes him the fourth different winner. Or no, he already is a winner, I believe, this season, if I'm not mistaken. So I think that's how. Alright, that actually does make him the fourth. I'm not certain, but that is. Oh no, yeah, no, that makes it. That is his first win, I think, of the season. Hugo won in so Hugo won in Monza, and then Chumley won the next two, and then yeah, okay, so he's the fourth winner. My apologies. Or is it? Yeah, is it? Wonder what's happening there with them. So there is our race. I will have to look. I am well out of it. Probably the sleep deprivation taking its toll on me. So let's see who is going to be in for a couple interviews. So let's go ahead and get to the channel. Let's see. So I believe, I don't know if anyone is coming. Oh, Milos is going to come in, so let's bring him in. Hello, Milos. Tough race today, but you still brought home some points, so you might be happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the whole season's been tough, really. It's glimpses of performances where we could have done well, but really nothing really coming together, so it's disappointing, really. I mean, you know, coming off of last season, we were looking like rock stars, and now we look like clowns, so.
Yeah, these things may happen, Milos. Unfortunately, the car might not be working the way you want it, but yeah, we're I'm sure the team appreciates all your hard work that you've been doing this season. With the quali pace has shown glimpses of impressive glimpses of hope, and I'm sure the upgrades next season or for next round might help. But
Yeah, I mean, really, just yeah, quality pace has been the only really reassuring factor of the season. I've always really been up there, even if my laps haven't been amazing. Like here, I think I was P7. I think there was a few more, maybe even half a second in that lap. So a bit disappointed, but you know, it's was a decent position to start in, and then I think I gained a position or two off the start, so that was alright. But yeah, simply not really driving well enough at all. Yeah, I'd expect better from myself, but it's not really been coming together recently. So yeah, I gotta keep the head down, I guess, and iron out the issues really, and
Yes.
hope for the best.
And the next race will be the best one, I'm sure.
Yes.
So yes, but at the
Yeah,
moment
Zandvoort.
you guys are looking very good in the constructors, I believe. So I think Barrel Roll might take a little bit more this time out, but actually they lost their other driver, so you guys might actually still keep that lead. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I
but
think we're still in the lead by a couple of points, which is a positive to look at. Yeah, if we get the constructor this season, I think that would be a happy finish, really, to us being in general a mediocre at best season. But yeah, Zandvoort next. I'm looking forward. I got pole last season and a podium, so yeah, hoping for more, really.
well then
See what we
we're gonna
can.
repeat that then, yes.
Hopefully.
Okay, well I'll let you be then and get back to your business. Thank you for joining me.
Yes.
Grazie a te.
Adios.
Okay, I'm gonna bring now next. I believe this is Ollie. Mr. Stricker, is that you?
Hello. Yes.
Yes, very well done today on your comeback to the league. Um, I know you missed a few races, but that is a solid result to get.
Yeah, it's the highest result I've had in 2SRL just ever, so
Well, that's very good then,
I'm
especially.
very happy with that.
Yeah, you did very well to hold off the challenging pack. The pit stop was a bit of a mess, or the pit strategy I thought was going to be a bit of a mess, but it turns out it actually worked out because you seemed to be able to hold it. So
Yeah,
yeah,
like I was thinking as soon as like I was about to go into pits as soon as Timo went into pits. I don't know if you saw that, but he was going into pits as I was diving up his inside, so it was a very monkey-ass move I had to go.
oh,
And then I decided, I'll just do 5-6 more laps, try and get an overcut strategy on them. And I came out about 7 seconds behind both Timo and Hagrid. And after that, I had to basically catch them. And then when they had their little, very small collision, I was pretty much 3 seconds behind, so I could easily just get past and then drive away from there.
okay. I think that I think it was a very well done drive, just in general, just very calm, consistent, and everything you did seemed to work out. I was kind of At first I wasn't certain, but of course, I mean, I'm not a driver, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, but either way, you did fantastic. Hopefully next race you keep the pace going, because
Oh, I hope
yeah,
so too.
yeah, Zandvoort should be a good one. But yeah, I'll leave you be then as well. Thank you for joining me, and
Yeah, thank you.
enjoy your evening.
Yeah, likewise.
So that's it for us today, I believe. So yeah, nobody else is coming for interview, but that's okay because that was an interesting race, a very good battle for the race win. The top two showing brilliant pace, fighting it out there. Unfortunately, I missed the final outcome of it, so I apologize for that. But regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Be sure to check out the EGL channel, like and subscribe to check out more ACC and F1 and other various footage for whatever we are uncertain. I think AC and ACC and F1 2020 is starting this week with SLR and 2SRL. So be sure to tune in for that. And this Friday, I believe, I don't know if we're streaming it here, but we're gonna be doing Sim Cup Endurance at 3 hours at Monza. So if you guys follow any of the racers here, a lot of us are gonna be doing it. Be sure to tune in for that. But otherwise, thank you all for tuning in, and thank you all to the chat for tuning in. And I am It's Triton once again, and I will see you all next week in Zandvoort as we approach round 7. So thank you very much.